focusing has been such an important part of my life, and it has helped me so much in my personal development, in my relationships, in my whole life story. I've often thought, why isn't this technique better known? I mean, this is just such a fantastic technique, seemingly so simple and yet so powerful, and it can really, really help people in their lives, in their relationships, in the way they're engaging with their communities and with the world. So why isn't it better known? And I think it isn't better known because not enough research has been done. Now you may say, okay, there's been lots of research done, but by Jen Lin and a whole load of people, but we haven't done the research with the modern brain scanning techniques. So last year I started a small project. I went with a focusing colleague, Lucy May from Montreal. We went to California and we found a client there, and we started a small project to do brain scanning to see before and after a whole body focusing session, one session, see if it made a difference. Now, we were amazed at the results because we proved that by doing whole body focusing, this client was able to change his brainwave activity. And it went from beta wave activity, which is very spiky and agitated and worried, into alpha wave activity, which is very creative and meditative. And you know, the session was a success. But obviously, one session isn't going to change your life. The brain scanning images showed overactivity in the basal ganglia and deep limbic systems that are often indicative of anxiety and depression. Now, these change slightly, but not fundamentally. Now, what we want to do is to go back a year later, again, take more images of this client who has been having regular whole body focusing sessions, and see, have we managed to change the deep-seated patterns of activity in the amygdala, you know, which is related to emotional trauma in childhood. Because if we can do this, and if you can see it in the images, then there's something fascinating that takes place. You know, everyone all over the world can look at those images and say, yeah, wow, yeah, this person was really suffering from depression and anxiety and childhood trauma. But we can see how the brain has changed. And seeing is believing. If you can really prove to people that these changes have taken place, they're going to think, wow, maybe this will work for me. You know, maybe there's hope. Maybe I'm not the victim of my childhood traumas and childhood conditioning. Maybe I can change these patterns of behavior and response and become a completely new person. But you have to convince people, first of all. You know, the message has to go out there. So this is why we are making this appeal to the whole focusing community to support us in this project. And we're trying to raise $3,000 to go to California and take a whole series of new brain images 1 year on to see if something fundamental has changed in the amygdala, in the deep areas of our kind of emotional trauma responses, to see if this client has really changed. And we need your help. We need everybody in the community to contribute a small amount of money. And if each person gives a small amount, it's going to add up in no time at all to the $3,000 that's needed to fly out to California and complete these brain scans. Then we can publish on the website. Then we can go around to all the big research labs and say, do you want to do a full-scale study in focusing and the effects of focusing with a large group of people and really make this scientific? But we can't do it without your help. Each person, by a small gesture, by a small contribution, can help to make this possible. And as you all know from your own lives, focusing is such a powerful technique. It's touched your lives, it's changed your lives, and in this way we can really go out into the world, into the larger community, and say, look, here is a technique that really works, and in terms of changing the way your brain is functioning, in terms of changing your response patterns, in terms of changing your whole personality. So please help us. Thank you.